The following podcast is a member of the Pokecasters Network. Pokecasters Network, supporting Pokemon content creators, their shows, and the community of Pokemon fans. To find out more, check out PokecastersNetwork.com or find us on Twitter and Facebook.
I'm gonna ask you this once. What happened to your bag?
Taken. That's all he can spurt out. Sandoran is poisoned.
Okay.
Just looks at you. You could tell this poison's really getting to him. It's not fading in a proper way that poison tends to fade over time. Because in this universe, unlike in the main series game, poison tends to fade.
Kyle sees Sandoran, sits down, just gives him a hand and just says, all right, wait a sec. Like, puts up his hands and is like, wait here. And turns to Ford with a look of just like, what?
The mine. Now we're all disappeared. I don't know how I escaped, but we help.
You're really doing this to me, huh?
You rolled a nat 1.
Yeah, I know I rolled a nat 1. I didn't roll a 0.
If the entire guild is in that mine, I'm not gonna be able to help you out on my own.
I need, and points to Sandoran,
This guy with.
Going into town. Come on. And start heading into town.
All right, we're schmoving. We're moving.
Yep. As you're heading into town, there's a bit of distance here, so you've got a little bit of time to figure things out.
Yeah, I think Kyle is looking for an explanation, and I hope Sandoran knows that Kyle wants an explanation. Is Sandoran not giving an explanation?
No, Sandoran is. Sorry, I'm looking for something right now. Sandoran, as you guys are walking in this direction, as you're walking in this direction, Sandoran's like, so, Manaphy and I were, I was walking over, trying to find a place to eat. Manaphy wanted to go in a particular place, and I was like, sure, why not? I'll just slide the food in and go from there. And we went into a restaurant. We were just relaxing. We were sitting down. I was having a meal, and then out of nowhere, I just feel something go around my mouth, and I just knock out, just like that. I wake up, bag's gone. I'm on the side of the road of some random building I don't even remember, and can clearly tell that something's happened to me. And I look at my arm and see that it's been poisoned. I've been poisoned a bunch of times. Unfortunately, that's kind of how it goes. So I knew that this was poison. I tried eating, anything in my bag, but nothing was there that could really help. I went to HQ. You weren't there. So I just ran out of the city thinking.
Sandoran didn't have his bag at all, but carry on.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, logic. Yeah, I was looking around the room for anything to eat. There's nothing there.
I just assumed that this was either like, I assumed that this was just Sandoran going into like just being in shock and not being able to get his story straight. Yeah.
Yeah. I was looking around, went to HQ. You weren't there, so I just ran out the city. Maybe you were taking a walk or something. And saw you out there, and so ran to you. And you noticed that the poison that was fading away seems to be coming back.
That's wild. That's not right.
Again, not how this works. Sandoran looks at that, like, no. Kind of like literally grasping his hand. He's almost, I guess the best way to describe this is like if he stops the blood flow, he's hoping that prevents
it keeps going in spreading.
He's basically like holding his arm, being like, okay, look, we can just hold it off for now until I can get something else.
Yeah, that's fine.
So that is the case right now. Sandoran's, at this point, you're back in the city. Sandoran's just rushing through, walking as fast as he can, cutting through, people traffic, as he heads towards the destination of where he presumably remembers waking up.
Where he remembers waking up, or where he went to eat?
He's heading to where he's waking up, because I'm going to say that's what he told you.
Kyle's going to be like, I think we start by going to your restaurant and going from there.
Okay. Good idea. Takes a sharp left and starts walking in that direction.
We're moving. We're moving.
You're moving into a restaurant. It's a standard restaurant. Nothing too fancy. Nothing too. You walk inside. There's a few people. A few Pokemon there having some lunch. There's a person. What's the best way to describe this? I'm thinking like Olive Garden-esque. Like there are tables and there's like the desks that you get seated in and sit down. Waiters come and go. Nothing seems too out of the ordinary here.
No, it all makes sense. I think Kyle's first question is just gonna be. I think first Kyle's gonna look around the restaurant to see if there was any sign of some sort of struggle or Zendoran getting dragged out of the restaurant or whatever. Like if there's any sign of any of that having happened, because presumably this happened in the past like 2 hours.
Sure. How are you going to find this out? Are you going to talk to someone to find this out? Just gonna walk in?
Kyle's gonna start by Kyle's just gonna start with a visual inspection, just like very quickly like scanning around until I assume some host or hostess is gonna come and try and seat these two. So
Gotcha. Sindoran at this point is kind of like has taken, what's this? Like a coat? A coat? I think. Not a coat per se, but it has like some sort of covering, and he's just covering his own arm.
okay.
Trying to not spread attention. Like, hey, guess what? Some guy with like an arm in the wrong direction is showing up here. You know, kind of just covering that up. Make a perception check.
5 minus 1.
Nothing out of the ordinary pops up in the 30 milliseconds you have before a hostess comes up. First Pokemon I thought of when I was thinking of a hostess / waiter is a Blossom. So there's a Blossom that shows up. It's like, oh, hello. May I take you to your seats? If you have an open, is it the two of you?
Well, I think at this point Kyle's gonna take the lead. Kyle's just first gonna look to Zendoran and like nod his head to the Blossom as if to ask, like, do you recognize this person? Like, was this person here earlier? Kind of like, I hope I could convey that by just looking at Zendoran and then just very quickly nodding to the Blossom.
Make a performance check, I guess. Zendoran's out of it. You gotta really make sure.
Yeah, no, I've got to sell this. This is cute,
Yeah.
right?
This is cute.
Yep, that fell. That also fell. Oh, love it. Nat 1. All right.
Nat 1.
Zendoran thinks I'm trying to sit down and eat at this restaurant.
Sindoran just starts off like, we're here to have a meal, have a seat. And Blossom's like, great, can I lead you to your tables? Sindoran just takes full control of the conversation at this point, has some plan. Who knows if you know what it is. And it's like, yes, let's take a seat. Do I save this? I save this, okay, yeah, 15. So Sindoran's like, yes, I hate to be this guy, but do you have a corner table? I'm not even using Sindoran. I hate to be this person, but do you have a corner table I could prefer? Sorry, I just prefer corner tables. It's a little quirk of mine. Blossom's like,
nice.
No problem.
Great
No
save.
problem.
Great save.
I'm afraid right now the only corner we have is next to the kitchen, but is that okay with you? Yeah, that's fine. It's fine. And so leads both of you now to in the corner of the kitchen. There's no windows there. It's just like if you stretch your hand out real far, you would hit the kitchen door.
Yeah.
But you're in a cornered booth right now. Have full view of the majority of the restaurant. There's no window next to you. So we're at the corner table. You're able to basically reach out and reach the kitchen. You're in a corner. There are walls. There's no window nearby, and you've got a good view of the majority of the restaurant. As Sindoran slides into the booth that isn't in the corner, so that you can slide into the one that is the corner. If that makes any sense.
Zendoran's given me the viewpoint here.
Yeah, Sindoran's giving you the viewpoint, presumably because Sindoran is like 30% confident he's going to be awake throughout this entire investigation.
I think as soon as the hostess gives us our menus and leaves.
Yeah, gives Blossom hands you both menus. Sindoran's kind of like skimming through it really quickly, just looking through, acting as if he's got something in mind. Blossom hands you both glasses of water, and just mentions like, "Hey, I'll be with you guys in about 5 minutes. Okay, thank you."
Mm-hmm.
Walks off.
Yeah, and I think as soon as the Blossom walks off, Kyle's gonna turn to Zendoran and just be like, "All right, do you remember where you were sitting? Do you remember who served you?"
Let's see. Sindoran, roll history. That is a whole bunch of modifiers. Where is
a normal fairy type Zendoran must be smart, surely.
Where did I put this? All right, I go by base level here. We're talking.
Wait, question.
Yo.
This just dawned on me, and I'm wondering this.
Go for it.
There haven't been any mystery dungeon games, or any. There haven't been any. My question is, how did you assign the 5 different, I guess, what are they called?
Attributes,
human
I guess.
stats. How did you assign the attributes to?
I made them up.
You made them up for all 18 types.
All 18 types. Made them up.
Okay. All right.
Well, at least the base levels. These are all like
Yeah.
kind of like player templates if you feel like using them.
Yeah.
So each of them have an equivalent.
Total.
Yeah, there's all of them have an equivalent like averages out. Everybody starts off effectively if you add everything up with a +2 overall. So everybody has a -1, a +2, and a +1, and then 2 straight up values.
Yep.
And
That
then
makes
I think it's also distributed properly as well, so that there are 3 different types that have a +2 and everything, 3 different types of +1. Da 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 da. I think it's balanced for the most part.
Mostly, yeah. With 18, I don't know if you could perfectly balance it out, but like the whole thing is everyone's total is the same, and that's what matters.
Yeah, none of them have the same.
And none of them have the
combination.
same stat distribution.
Yeah, it's not like normal and dragon both have the same setup. And then in terms of
Drampa just doubles down.
basically, but the way that I've been doing this for individuals, like NPC characters, whenever they're rolling, nowadays is based on their moveset. So whatever type they have more of the moves in relationship to their type is what they're going with. So in this case, Sindoran leans more normal because of the 4 moves that Sindoran has. 2 of them are normal.
Okay.
One's fairy, one's psychic.
Okay.
So based on that, you're going to be operating as if you're a normal, which is a -1 smart, which means that this is going to be a 14 instead of a 15.
Tough.
So in that instance, Sindoran gives you this. He just re-explains. So I walked inside. I don't remember who served me, but walked inside, went to the right, and sat near a window on that side. And you have a good view of this. So if you look over there, you can see there are 3 windows, with each one of them having roughly 1 booth that's associated with them.
Cool.
So one of those 3 booths on that side, not on the side that you're in right now.
Okay.
So Blossom, sir, when you walk in, you went to the left corner.
Yeah, it's
So-
opposite side of the restaurant from where we
Opposite side of the
seated.
restaurant, yes.
And I think the follow-up Kyle has to be able to, do you recognize the Blossom? Was the Blossom working here?
I don't remember the Blossom. It was a taller Pokemon. I remember that.
All right, that's all we can work off of. I think what Kyle's gonna do is 2 things. Kyle's gonna look for is see who all is working around the restaurant right now. Obviously, like people may have changed shift, but like get a gauge for who's working right now, who could potentially have seen something. And the other thing Kyle's gonna do is the tables and Doran pointed out were next to windows. Kyle's gonna see what's across the street to see if if there are any establishments across the street from which someone could have seen what happened.
Across the street from the window side.
Mm-hmm. From the side where Zendoran was seated. Yeah.
Across the street is a blacksmith.
Okay.
Like a forging area there.
Is there any line of sight from inside that building to inside the restaurant?
From where you're standing, it looks like it. So it looks like the road opens up in that direction, so you can see through the window the entrance to the blacksmith's area. It's an open entrance, but there is no activity, at least from where you're looking right now.
Okay. And how busy is this restaurant?
It's probably 2-ish right now, so it's winding down the lunchtime.
How did this happen in the middle of the lunch rush? It makes no sense.
Yeah.
And that side of the restaurant looks fine. It doesn't look like there was any sort of a struggle or anything.
Nope, it doesn't look like there's any struggle. Well, you can roll investigation. Maybe you can find something in particular.
Yeah, no. Let me take a look.
Yeah, straight up investigation.
Got 11. Something.
With an 11, you do get something. So you're looking across, and it's hard to see because again, you're seated. Unfortunately, you're just sitting in the wrong. You're seated in the wrong spot. For what you want to actually look for. You're looking around trying to find anything. You've also taken notice of the Pokemon that are here and serving.
Mm-hmm.
The issue you have is that none of them match the taller description.
None of them are taller than, I assume Zendoran, right?
Yeah, because let me confirm this just to make sure what I've got here actually makes sense. Because I need Wigglytuff's height. So Wigglytuff's height, about 3'3". Yeah, for Wigglytuff would be anybody taller than Wigglytuff. And all the Pokemon that they're serving are anywhere between your height and Wigglytuff's height.
Okay.
No one seems to be fitting the description of tall. And if you ask Sandoran doesn't consider himself particularly tall.
Yeah.
So this was definitely someone bigger than him, and that's not the case right now.
Okay. We're gonna have to go full detective mode on this, and I hate how long this is gonna take. Ugh, I hate this. Okay. Well, I think the next step is gonna be whenever the Blossom comes by to take our orders. I think that's when Kyle's gonna do the old flash the police badge and be like, "We have some questions."
Okay.
I think that's the only, because Zandoran's no help in terms of getting information, and there's no clear evidence of,
Anything that's
what
occurred.
happened. So the only way to glean any helpful information is going to be just by straight up asking.
Right. Okay. Sure. So at this point, yeah, Blossom comes back. Just like, okay, can I, let's see, have you both made a selection here? Sandoran just looks at you.
Yeah, I think Kyle is going to be like, but before we order, we have we have a couple questions, and Kyle's gonna pull out his guild badge and just be like, we heard about something that may have happened here, and just had a couple questions for you.
Oh,
if you don't mind.
Certainly. Is it? Did you need secure privacy for this conversation, or are you fine with having it here?
Hey, Kyle's just like, I think we should be all right.
Okay.
So, when did you start your shift today? When were you here?
There's not a lot of people. Yeah, sure. Not a lot of people work here, honestly. So I started like everybody else, starting in the morning at about 8 o'clock. Been here working throughout the entire time.
And there have been no staff changes. No one's shift has started or ended since you got here.
Nope. It's been me and everyone else working here. Let me think of who was working here. As I say, as semi trying to actually figure it out.
Yeah, you're good.
Let me generate some Pokemon here that are probably working here.
I was just like, generate some Pokemon. What?
Yeah, that's just kind of my thing. So it's 4 of us. It's me, the Blossom. There's a Burmy over there. You see a Burmy taking orders. It's the grass Burmy.
Yeah.
The funny because we were talking about this earlier. The Bounce Suite. That's in that corner. A Bounce Suite just taking like a couple of plates on the top of its head as it walks back into the kitchen. And the Bulbasaur.
Okay.
Behind me, you see a Bulbasaur at the front taking in a couple of folks.
Cool. Guys gonna be like, okay. Well, my friend here says he was eating here a couple of hours ago and was served by someone a bit taller when he was here.
I was generating these Pokemon without thinking. I don't think anyone I mentioned was particularly tall today.
No. Everyone you mentioned is under 2 feet.
Yeah, it's Blossom, Burmy, Bulbasaur.
Blossom, I think, is the tallest at like 2 feet.
Blossom, Burmy, Bulbasaur, Bounceway. Didn't even realize it. All of them start with a B, which is hilarious.
I'm trying to think of what the name of this restaurant could be now, because clearly it starts with B.
Apparently.
It's Bon Appetit. No, but we already have a place in the universe named Bon Appetit, right? Don't we? From Arc 1?
No, that's Le Berry.
Oh, it was Le Berry. Oh yeah, so we don't have a Bon Appetit.
There you go. We have a Bon Appetit. It's a pure vegetarian restaurant. Let's go with that.
Bone apple teeth.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, the 4 Pokemon there, none of them are clearly tall enough to fit the description that Cinderella is positive about.
Yeah, so Kyle, I think Kyle's question still stands.
What was the question? Sorry, one more time.
The question was, well, Zadoran ate here a couple hours ago and said he was served by someone taller. Did you happen to know anything about that?
No, there shouldn't have been anyone. No one fits that description. I mean, there's a few of the kitchen staff, but none of them have left the kitchen throughout the day. So.
And Kyle's gonna be like, and who all works in the kitchen?
There's a Steenie, which I think is the evolved form of Bounceweight.
Yes.
There's a Steenie, a Cacturn, and one more Pokemon that isn't generating properly, but we'll find out sooner or later. I got a Virizion. That's definitely not it.
Nope.
A Fortress. There you go. I'm gonna go kind of off,
Now,
but whatever.
now Fortress and Cacturn are both on the taller side. I don't think Steenie is tall enough,
No.
but Cacturn might be taller than Wigglytuff, right?
Let's go look this up. Cacturn is taller than Wigglytuff.
And Ferrothorn, I'm not sure.
Fortress, sorry.
Or sorry, Fortress. Oh, Fortress. Fortress is not tall.
Fortress is taller.
What?
Fortress is 3'11". Wigglytuff is 3'3".
How is Fortress? What? That measurement must be like edge of peg to edge of peg.
No, that's wide. It's definitely that tall.
That's insane. The dex lies to us. Anyways,
Big book. Okay. There you go. Fortress Cacturn technically fit your description of tall folks.
and I think the other question would just be like, okay, and do the kitchen staff ever have the kitchen staff gone through any shift changes at all? Or is it the same staff working since you clocked in this morning?
Same staff since we clocked in. But I doubt it could be any of them. None of them have left the kitchen. They're constantly working with orders and stuff.
Interesting.
You can feel free to roll whatever you feel like if you want to gauge the quality of this information.
I mean, I feel like Kyle like trusts this Blossom, but I think Kyle's still gonna, make sure that this Blossom is being truthful.
Yeah, go for it.
Kyle doesn't think this Blossom has anything to hide, but he's gonna very quickly try and gauge if there is any sort of attempt to hide anything here.
I've been playing way too much Ace Attorney. It's the first thing I'm just thinking of is like you doing this like mental breakdown. It's like, aha, here's a thing that's a flaw. Objection. Like,
Yep, that's what we're going for.
For anyone that's played or watched the Ace Attorney games, we're going full Apollo Justice here, which isn't going to make any sense to you specifically, Muhammad, but makes perfect sense to me.
I rolled an 8, so unless I am beating up this Blossom to get the truth, it's a fail.
Blossom seems to be telling the truth.
Yeah, I know that makes sense. I think the other question Kyle would have would be like, and if someone were to try and come in or out of the restaurant, is there any side or back entrances or exits that they
You'd
could
have
take?
to either come in through the front door, which, I mean, there's usually one of us waiters up there, but not always. Or you could go through the back, but then you'd have to go through the kitchen and the entirety of the restaurant in order to get to where your friend was, to seat them properly.
Well, in Kyle's mind, the big question isn't the getting to Zendoran, it's the getting out with Zendoran. So I think Kyle's gonna ask, would you mind showing us the way to the rear entrance?
Whose voice am I going with? Yes. I'm like, who am I talking about right now? Blossom's like, yeah, sure, no problem. Yeah, follow me. Just kind of like starts walking into the kitchen, presumably, if you're following.
Oh, yes, of course.
Zendoran is following. Zendoran's really holding onto his hand right now, as if like, hey, this is working right now, but
this isn't gonna hold up. I'm aware.
This is not holding much longer.
I'm aware.
But heads there. You see the hustle and bustle of the kitchen. All three of the Pokemon that I mentioned, the Skeeny, the Cacturn, and the Fortress, full on cooking up a storm. They are pros at this.
Okay.
While the restaurant itself doesn't look particularly advanced, the chefs back here very good at what they do. Balancing plates and making pans of food, preparing for the dinner rush that is inevitably going to come. Despite all this, there's always like a clear path to walk through. It's like they know their space, and if there's someone in their way, they're just able to avoid them. Which is
True
masterful for them. Yeah. Blossom, without breaking a sweat, without swerving or anything, just walks straight, and then everybody seems to like go around you guys as they continue cooking. Heads to the back.
So that would explain why, like, that in and of itself tells me, okay, someone could have dragged Zendoran all this way and not disrupted anything so long as no one in the restaurant was at all suspicious of anything.
Right. If you want to do any checks inside this room itself before we head out, you can.
I do think like Kyle is gonna like, as they're walking along this pathway from, the dining area through the kitchen, Kyle is gonna like look for any like signs of like, someone being dragged or any sort of a struggle or anything. Kyle's looking for anything here.
That looks like another investigation check to me.
Yep.
For the room. The kitchen, to be precise.
A 17.
A 17. Okay. First thing you get, this kitchen is remarkably clean. It doesn't look like it's because the chefs clean it. It just looks like they're that good.
Yeah.
So it doesn't you still see like dust in some areas that the chefs never touch. So presumably they're not cleaning the kitchen. So the fact that it's clean, make whatever assumptions you can. The second thing, the far more important thing, as you guys are reaching the back of the door, and Blossom's about to open the door that leads to the outside, you hear a commotion coming from the door as some restaurant, individual, some customer, was about to bust through the door to be like, hey, this food's garbage. You know what I'm talking about? I paid 55 million poke for these things, sir. You see the cacturn who was cooking just look over there and stop and go over to handle that customer.
Interesting.
Has a conversation with them. It's like, sir, first off, no, it wasn't. You paid 150. There's a sale on the food. On top of that, it's fine. You added the salt, like just making this whole thing like, bro, it's your fault.
No,
you dump a pile of salt, and that's having the deal. Customer
but
leads back.
It doesn't seem like this is an out of the ordinary. Like, no one is batting an eye at this.
Remind me what number you rolled?
17.
17. While the cacturn stopped their work to go deal with the customer, the other two looked in that direction for a split second, realized that it was being handled, and then continued their work.
Okay, good to know.
So make of that what you will.
Mm-hmm.
So, kitchen remarkably clean, and that situation happened as Blossom is leading you out. Blossom turns around to about to go in that direction, realizes that cacturn handles it, and it's like, okay, that's good. Turns back to you guys, and it's like, okay, so this is the door to the outside. Opens the door, you see behind you, the alleyway.
Yeah.
There's a couple of garbage cans over there, another building in this direction. Yada, yada, yada. Standard back alleys, so to speak.
Okay. I think before we make our leave, Kyle's gonna just, make the rounds of the kitchen staff and more than anything ask, do you recognize this Wigglytuff?
I'm gonna ask you to roll persuasion, or just a flat out charisma roll. Something in that cute range is effectively what's gonna happen because you have a conversation with everybody.
Am I rolling this once? Am I rolling this 3 times? What's
roll it once.
Roll it once? Alright. I was excited that I might be able to roll all 3 of my d20s at once this time, but I will take a 12 plus 1 and move on.
Okay. Nobody here seems to recognize anything. All of them are adamant that they never left the kitchen, and the other folks are able to verify that. We've been working nonstop, basically. We each took a small break, but that break is usually in the kitchen itself. Just not actually.
And none of them have seen Zendoran.
None of them recognize Zendoran.
Okay.
At all. Yeah.
Weird. Okay. I guess in that case, it is time to check in on the back alley real quick and see if there's anything out there that could be of use.
Sure. As you check the back alley, Blossom is just having a conversation with Zendoran, and you, I guess, speaking a little loud to make sure that you can hear. It's just so this is the alley. You could theoretically come in here. I personally think the chefs would notice if something was odd, but theoretically you could come in here. They leave the door unlocked during the rush times to constantly be throwing trash out. So, again, I suppose if something happened, somebody could come in through here, but I highly doubt that would be the case.
Okay. Does anything seem? Is there anything that could potentially be a clue out back? I'm
going to ask you to roll an investigation check on the outside.
My disappointment is immeasurable. And my day is ruined. Do you need me to tell you what I rolled?
I do, because depending on that, I give you something.
No, but do you need me to? You need me to tell you what I rolled?
Yes. Also, for the person that's
Do
tracking
you need
this
me
in the
to say
future.
it out loud?
Do I need to say it out loud?
Do you need me to say it out loud, or could I just
sounds-
take my disappointment and go?
This sounds like one of those riddles that's like, have you seen this film? I don't know. I'm not going to tell you. Have you seen this film? Well, since you said you don't know if you've seen this film or not, and I know that you've seen this film or not. You know, that one of those things.
No.
Maybe no. Maybe I didn't explain it. Anyway,
It's a nat one.
it's a nat one. Yeah, I figured. How do I nat one this?
Whoever kidnapped Manaphy just got away with it. There is no way of getting around it. We have failed.
I can't
GG,
do
no
that.
win.
There has to be a solution to this. How do I do this? Oh, perfect. I don't know why I was confusing this all this time. Sindoran flops to the ground.
Oh, well.
I'm like, there's a nat one sitting here. Why am I not using this? Sindoran's like, good night, clop.
I think Kyle is gonna turn to Blossom, just be like, sorry. Do you all have any petra berries by any chance?
Pecha berries? No, I'm afraid we don't. Is something the matter? I'm sorry. Of course something's the matter. Your friend here just collapsed on the ground, said Doran. In comedic effect. Not really comedic, but like tongue out. It was like bleh. like
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, how do I deal with this? This is because I need help with this investigation, and the door is not able.
your
to
help
get-
is currently occupied right now.
and they don't have any.
No
Really?
pecha
They
berries
don't-
in the restaurant.
Really?
My logic is you rolled a nat one.
So what am I supposed to do with him?
uh,
I have no way of getting him up right now, unless
You
an
could-
apple's gonna do it.
you could go shopping.
I could just leave him here and go shopping in the middle of.
It's like, hey, Blossom, I know I just met you like 15 minutes ago. You take care of this guy. Bye. Dun 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 dun.
Because here's the annoying part. Here's the annoying part, right?
Yep.
Zadoran is incapacitated. Manaphy is missing. Ford is at HQ freaking out. You just gave me like 3 different plates to spin.
Granted, you have
And-
rolled multiple nat ones
I mean,
today.
yes, but like, and I don't have any leads on 2 of these things. I don't know how to deal with the Zadoran thing. I don't know how to deal with the Manaphy thing. And frankly, the Ford thing can wait. That's the least. that's the least important thing right now. Most important thing is the Manaphy thing.
That's just how
And in order
bad
to deal
things
with
are. When
Manaphy-
when the least important thing is the fact that an entire guild is missing, that shows how bad things are right now.
They're competent. They can figure it out. Manaphy is missing, and I need to figure out how to get to Manaphy. The problem is I can't get to Manaphy without getting, Moradas and Doran here. Doran's incapacitated. I have no way of resuscitating this Wigglytuff, because clearly whatever poison hit it, clearly it got toxic by something.
Yeah, something
like-
is happening here that's causing it to continue to happen.
And
Which-
any of the Pokemon at the restaurant could have been the one to do it.
Right. Although the evidence isn't exactly pointing in a specific direction.
Yeah, exactly. That's the annoying part. And I don't know where Zendoran got.
Left off. There is no evidence of someone being dragged away. The backpack isn't here. I'm literally at a dead end. Literally, I am at a dead end. I'm assuming this alleyway is just a dead end.
Yeah, this alleyway leads to like a gated fence that you could theoretically jump over, but that's, for all intents and purposes, that's a dead end.
And on the other side, it goes back out to some
The main
other
road.
street.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, I hate this so much. What am I meant to do?
We could just end the episode here, but that seems very cruel.
That feels so incredibly cruel, and also not at all like you.
Yeah.
You usually like giving me either a glimmer of hope or a glimmer of despair.
Right.
Not
This is just all.
This is just nothing. This is I don't know what to do. I literally have no direction.
You could always call for help.
I guess.
Pulls out your cell phone. Beep, 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 beep. Hey, Mansoor, I know that you're in DC right now, but could you help me?
Hey, listen. I know the Nationals are
This
probably in
GM sucks.
the Nationals are probably in the 4th inning right now, and you got a lot of game left to watch. But
But
Um,
to be fair, you and I both know none of this matters until like the 8th inning at best. So, you mind real quick resuscitating Ralph just for him to show up and throw a Pecha Berry at this Wigglytuff and then leave
yeah,
again?
Because I know that none of the other recruits are physically nearby. I know that.
Here is what I will say. Do they have to be?
What do you mean, do they have to? Huh?
Do the recruits have to be nearby to help you?
Well, I mean, if I pop the dream world and like, hey, I have a situation, it's like, okay, I can be there in 3 days. Like, what?
Well, again, I feel like, and I'm hinting very hardly here to give you an avenue out of here, there is a recruit that can just, appear.
Have we established this?
What's his moveset?
You have his moveset, you know this.
I
One of
don't
his
remember.
moves is teleport.
One of his moves is teleport.
Am I gonna pull the switch again? Am I gonna pull out the SOS call again?
There is another thing that you could theoretically use that we have not properly established how it works technically. But if there's any point where you need a glimmer of hope, you do have a tarot deck. I could just
I've thought about the tarot deck earlier in terms of, but the tarot deck tells me something that's going to happen during the day, right?
Since you have not pulled a card yet, we technically have not established the rule set of this. And I, with supreme godlike powers, can just change my rules.
You could just change the rules of how this tarot deck works.
Correct.
Oh. Yeah, because I was like, a vision into the future doesn't help, but if you're willing to just change the rules to have it give me an answer, that is an option. I'm trying to think which option is more likely to get me something in the right direction. Because one of them is
if it works, I know how it's gonna work. The other option, I know I can
Pop into Dream World, ring the psychic telephone, and just be like, yo, we have a major problem here. Probably even bigger than the issue we dealt with last night. Get over here. And the other option is I just play the RNG. And I don't like either of these options. I really don't. I hate both of these options with a burning passion. All right. The die came up odd. We're ringing the telephone.
Okay, so you're gonna call Adam?
I think that's the only that's the only surefire bailout I have here. Also just helps in terms of being able to deal with multiple things at once here.
Okay. So I need you to pop into the dream world. You, now learning how that works, can do it.
Mm-hmm.
And there is no barrier here. So you just phase into the dream world.
In the real world, it looks like I'm just blinking my eyes. But
yeah, in the world, you just, as you time it properly, you close your eyes as you're blinking, poof, dream world. You are currently standing right now in front of your door in the hallway, staring basically across the room where there's like a wall, effectively. You know there used to be a door here in a different timeline.
Yeah, there's a whole shebang here, but
there's a whole thing here. You want to figure this out? Check out the rest of Arc 5 and like the rest of the show.
There's a whole lot of context here that frankly is kind of irrelevant right now.
If you're here at this point, you know what it is.
If you're here at this point, you know what it is, and if you're here at this point and you don't know what it is, I am impressed. What's the protocol here? Am I just going to the view room and just being like, "Yo, pull up, please"?
Beep beep beep.
Yeah, I feel like that's all.
That's true. I don't think you've ever called a meeting. It's usually Adam that calls the meetings.
Yeah, well, the only thing that we've tried to do, that we've done in the past, is not in the dream world, but like through like whatever like psychic connection Adam creates.
Oh, that's true. Do you just
telephone.
want to reach out and call Adam?
Yeah,
like,
that's what I was thinking. That's
okay. Sorry. Forget the dream world nonsense. Anyway, there's a door there. Whatever. But yeah, you close your eyes, kind of like presumably to blossom, just thinking really hard right now.
Yeah.
But you are just like, hey, Adam, I hope your phone's on right now.
Hey, ring, SOS, another one. This is worse.
It's like telegram, like beep beep beep, SOS, please help.
Also, like there is no like boy who cried wolf kind of story here with Kyle, because Kyle has rung the phone. Kyle has rung the phone once, and it was because Big Bad was there.
Right.
So,
I need you to roll Arcana here. For this, I need you to roll Arcana. Yeah.
Moment of truth. 12 plus 1. I got something.
Okay, that means I am going to roll. Am I near my phone right now? Whatever that roll turns into. That's not on the desk. Let's hope that I didn't make it stupid and make not logic. Let's hope I didn't make psychic the minuses.
I doubt you did.
Probably not. Where are you? Psychic. Nope, that's straight up. That's a 16 total. Ring, 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 ring. Hello, Adam speaking.
I think Kyle is just gonna, as concisely as he can, just be like, okay, so.
Hey Kyle, what's up?
Kyle's gonna be like, I'm at this restaurant in Steelfort City. We have a recruit down, and we have Manaphy lost. Can you get over here?
Oh, holy Arceus, that's a problem. Yeah, you said Steelfort, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. I've been there before. Yeah. Hold up. I'm going to teleport into the. I'm gonna teleport to HQ. Can you get there, or, because I'm not sure where I'd be going after that, but I can get to the HQ easily.
I think Kyle is gonna try. I think Kyle's gonna just give directions to the restaurant. Is what Kyle's gonna do.
Okay.
Because Kyle can't take Zendora in there.
Right. Okay. Sure. Yeah, I'll be there. Give me like 5 minutes. You could just hear, even though this is a mental call, you could hear him packing his bag. It's like, biscuits. Like, let's get this going.
Yeah. And Kyle's just gonna be like, hurry, we have a recruit down.
Right.
And hangs up.
Hang up. And a couple of minutes later, maybe? Let's actually find out. Oh, now I rolled a nat 20. Okay, sure. A couple of minutes later, Adam, with supreme knowledge of directions that he was able to figure out, rushes into the hallway. Not the hallway, the alleyway that you're in. Just turns around, it's like, good. Oh, hello. Nice to meet you. Apologies for this. Man, but I'm gonna have to ask you to re-enter the restaurant, and that's it. Blossom's like, okay. No questions asked.
Kyle's gonna give the Blossom like a reassuring nod of just like, he's with me.
Okay. If you need any help, please let me know, I guess. And then enters it, closes the door. Adam starts pulling out like a bunch of stuff from his bag. Some things you recognize, some things make no sense at all. What you do recognize, though, is you've explained to him that the poison continues, right? I'm assuming.
Yeah. I don't know if I fully explained that like Zendoran's poisoned. I did say that like we have a recruit down.
Okay, that's true. Okay, in that case, gotcha. So not Zendoran. Adam starts pulling out a bunch of stuff from his bag as he like looks to you. He's like, Kyle, what exactly is the issue? Starts like going through a Rolodex of berries.
Yeah, as he like examines the door, I think Kyle's just gonna
pulls on like a white lab coat, a stethoscope.
Yep. Pulls out like a first aid kit that is somehow bigger than either Kyle or Zendoran's backpacks.
Just whoop, dung. You see an X-ray machine like show up out of nowhere.
Dude, he's got an AED in there.
Yeah.
And then like a reverse AED if you need to like suck the power out of like an overcharged electric type. Like he's got everything.
We're gonna make a joke here that only us three will remember. Us three being Mansoor as well, if he's listening to this for some reason. He pulls out like an EKG and but yes, no. So yeah, he just starts pulling out everything, notices what exactly part of the issue is, but it's still asking for your help. As he puts the X-ray machine back down.
I think as Adam's doing all this, Kyle's just gonna give him the rundown of everything he's saying, which is basically, do you want me to like actually go word for word what Kyle says, or just give the gist here?
Just the gist is fine, I think.
All right. Kyle is gonna explain that basically the Doran came running up, seemed to be really badly poisoned. A Petraberry held it down for a little bit. Kyle had left Manaphy with Zendoran. Now Manaphy has assumedly been abducted. Zendoran was poisoned in this restaurant and blacked out. Or Zendoran was basically like blacked out in this restaurant, woke up somewhere else in the city. I'm not sure where yet. And Manaphy was gone.
Okay. Kyle, I'm gonna need your help for this. So I'm gonna ask you, Kyle, to roll a. You can either roll medicine or sleight of hand.
Well,
the other one is gonna be rolled by Adam.
Okay. What are his modifiers?
He is running as a psychic type here, which means he is +2 cool and neutral on the beauty, which is the medicine.
All right. Well, in that, okay. See, this is weird because he has 1-up on the cool on me and 1-up on the beauty on me as well. He's 1-up on both of them. So, it leaves me in a weird predicament. Since he's 1-up on me on both of these, I just need to give myself the best odds. Because no matter what, his odds are 1 better.
of success.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I'm gonna go with the sleight of hand and trust his medicinal knowledge.
Okie doke. Gotcha. So I need you to roll sleight of hand as I roll medicine.
Really? Why? Why do you do this to me? Why? Come on now. I rolled a 5 + 1.
I just rolled a 3. So things are not getting better. Adam is trying his hardest to figure this out, and he's got a solution, but it's just not working. And Sindoran right now, Sindoran, can you hold it in? So how do I deal with me rolling in that one?
Why?
So,
The DM, you can just erase the roll and pretend it didn't happen. No one had to know.
But it's on the recording, and yes, I could edit it, but that gives
not
the trust
on
me.
the recording. The recording is audio only.
That's true, but I could I could edit it, but like also. Okay, so today's been a great episode. So Sindoran, not only is it not holding in, Sindoran is losing health quickly. As a reminder, that is now slowly dawning on me. I have established what happens if we go to fainted territory, that like death saving throws exist.
Yes.
So we're not at that point yet.
But we're getting there, and
But
there
we're getting
hasn't
there
been
closer.
there hasn't been any sort of battle at all.
No, we're just getting there.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Adam at this point is just like, you know what? I can't do this here. Kyle, hold something of mine, like arm, like anything. Come on.
Yeah, we're all gonna get teleported out of here. Yeah,
yeah,
I'm with it.
And holds onto Sindoran. You appear at the front of the boulder stars.
Battle hammers.
Yeah, just battle hammers. Sorry, not boulder stars. You appear in the front of the battle hammers. Adam just like stares at the door, and the door just opens.
Yeah.
As he effectively just picks up Wigglytuff and is just rushing inside to the infirmary infirmary.
Yeah. No, that's fair. That's fair. I assume Ford is just in the lobby right now, watching this.
Yeah, Ford's got his bags packed. Sees an Alakazam walk in with the not fainted, but like close to fainting Wigglytuff, and you rushing in right behind, and it's just like, oh, that can't be good, and just starts like joining you at this point as you all head towards the infirmary.
Okay.
So Ford's gonna try to help if he can.
All right. You know what? At this point, like I was keeping Ford out of it. Fine, let Ford help.
It can't hurt, right?
Well, I mean, because right now this isn't recruit business right now. This is just,
This is just man down business, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. This is fine. Ford could be here for this part.
Yeah. So Sindoran's on the infirmary bed right now. Adam's just pulling machinery out of everywhere, trying to like connect things and figure out what's going on. Ford raises the question like, I hate to be this guy, but who exactly are you? And without missing a beat, Adam just goes, I'm Adam. And the shock in Ford's face is just like, the Adam?
Yep.
Yes, that's me. We can do autographs later. Right now, we gotta figure this out.
Listen, you're a recruit. You're a guild member. You know what the deal is. Help us out.
Ford starts grabbing some of like basic first aid things to help stem whatever issues are going on right now. Wigglytuff, I think we were talking, I don't know if we mentioned this on recording or not, but like how Wigglytuff's like color when turning from regular to shiny is like more saturated.
Yeah.
Right? This is now getting less saturated.
Yeah, no, it's becoming pale. Yeah.
And
this is fun. I'm not mad at this happening at all. This doesn't derail anything.
Adam at this point is like, okay, Kyle, if you have anything that can do anything right now, there is literally, and I mean this honestly, there is nothing we can do that is going to make this any worse. So anything at all can help out. If you have anything that is useful here, just please let me know. As at this point, Ford is just like rushed back in from the kitchen with like a whole box full of orange berries. It's like, okay, we're using these to hold on to time.
So all right, what do we have at our disposal right now? Before I know what to try and pull out as a Hail Mary kind of.
We have things that, okay, so health is dropping, and right now effectively what's happening is every few minutes is like every 10 minutes or so, Ford's game plan is to stuff a Pecha and or Oranberry to add another couple of minutes onto the clock. At a certain point, this is going to run out. But this is literally until Adam can think of any solution, because things are bad.
All right, so me pulling out an apple or an energy seed or an oranberry is useless right now because we kind of have that front covered.
You've got the heal for temporary time situation set up until a certain point, at which point all you'd be doing is just adding extra time on that clock, which once we reach that point, things are problematic. Adding an extra oranberry isn't going to solve that issue.
Yeah, no. Like that's not us solving the underlying issue here.
Correct.
Okay. Kyle literally has nothing else that can help beyond saying, hey, there's this deck of cards that...
Who gave Kyle the deck of cards?
That was
It wasn't Arceus.
No, it was Wishcash, the elder.
Yeah, that literally the OG of the recruits. Wishcash wasn't the first recruit. It was Ditto, I think, right?
Ditto was the Atom at that time. Wishcash is just real smart. I guess, basically.
An old school recruit gave Kyle this deck of cards and was like, it could come in handy sometime. Maybe they're just medical flashcards. We're rolling the dice.
Maybe this is just like, yo, if poison, use this method. Like,
yeah, no, like at this point, like
the combination of bad rolls has exhausted all other options. You have backed me into this corner. Congratulations. I'm busting out the item that you gave me.
To be fair, this is 3 nat 1s in the making.
Yeah, no, like you congratulations. You've backed me into a corner.
Okie doke. I am going to...
I have literally nothing. So Adam's like, do you have anything? And Kyle reaches into his bag, just kind of pulls out a deck of cards, stares blankly at it, and flips one over as if that's going to do anything right now.
Okay.
Because that's literally all he has.
Gotcha. Great. All right, everyone that's listening to this right now, you're listening to this on Patreon as an alternative to what actually happened. Let's reset. Press the button. This is the first time that I've done this, but we are actively canceling what happened in the past couple of minutes.
Yes. Thank you.
Rare time I press the button.
I am free.
I just don't like... I mean, I
don't think you understand. Like, my morale and my mood just got boosted 20%. Just in that instant of you saying we are canceling this. Like,
yeah, we're not.
It made me feel so much better and so much happier.
I am going to...
Like, I was probably 10% of the way to quitting the show, and now we have reset all that progress.
Okay,
this is great.
I do want to save this, only for the purposes of looking at this 10 years from now and be like, bro, this was the biggest L I took on the show.
Later on in an interview, what's the biggest mistake you made with this show? It's like, it never even made the air, is the best part.
It never made air. It's exclusively on Patreon. It is the dumbest thing we did since session 0, and that was us trying to figure out what we were doing. All right, I need a... Actually, let me just... Because I do want to keep this, because I will absolutely refer to this. Let me just do that.
But yeah, Kyle pulls out the cards, and the way the cards work is the way the Whiscash told him, where once a day you can pull it out and it'll tell you something. I like that more.
Great. All right, I'm going to do this. I do need a way to... All right, forget the tarot deck. This is the first... I can't believe I did that. I was hoping that I would never have to do this in my life. Sometimes you just make garbage decisions.
You know what? I'm going to rename this item in my inventory, so you never make this mistake again.
Call it... shoot.
It's not quite the... I was thinking of like using the word psychic deck, but like that's like... It has connotations in a Pokemon world. It's not quite a magic deck.
What did
a vision deck?
No, I got it. This would make more sense. Okay, so you... All right, we're gonna... All right, where was the last thing that things made sense? Because we're gonna cut it there.
The last point that things made sense was Adam being like, "Do you have anything at all?" And Kyle like basically like looking in his bag and being like, "I got nothing but this deck of cards."
Okay, you pull out the deck of cards, and this is the first time. All right, we're just setting this up. This is how I'm gonna work with this for now. You pull out the deck of cards. This is a much better... Why didn't I do this? All right, I got a better idea. Because it's gonna give you choices.
Okay, can I rename this item?
Yes, you
in
can
my
rename
inventory.
You're gonna rename the item. You pull out this deck. This is the first time you're actually looking at the deck of cards.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And what you do is you actually look at the back of each of these cards. You look at the... Not even that. All right, you look at the back of each of these cards, and you notice for the first time that these cards don't have the same back. It's not like a deck of cards where the back of the card is the exact same, right?
Okay.
It's not like that. There are different elemental images on each of these cards. It's all 18 elements.
There are 18 different. There are 18 different symbols on the back of these
Some of the cards, there's more of some than the others and everything like that, but that's what it is on the back. On the front of the card, each of these cards have a unique character on them, and that character is each of the legendary and mythical Pokemon.
Oh, it's a legendary deck.
So I'm going to call this, because it just fits in with the theme of everything, the elemental deck.
Sure.
Elemental deck, legendary deck. No, sorry, it's the what do we call the grass cornet and all those legendary items, right?
Yeah.
This is the legendary deck.
Legendary. It is legend. Wait for it. Dairy.
Bang.
Legendary.
It's the legendary deck. Okay.
All right, I can get behind this.
So in this deck, there is one of every single legendary Pokemon, effectively.
Mm-hmm.
On the back of it is the element of the legendary, the main element of the legendary.
They're the main type, yeah.
The main typing. I'm gonna say, are there any legendaries that are primary flying?
Not that I can think.
No, there's what's his face? The one of the Gen 5 legendary, like not Landorus, but like
Tornadus is pure flying.
Tornadus, great. So we got something. It's primary type because there's at least one of everything. Hopefully.
Let me just run through list of legendary and mythical Pokemon. I'm just gonna run through the list and verify this for you before we live to regret this. All right. All right. So this is just. Oh wait. Oh, this is all one big list. Okay. Cool. Sub-legendary, legendary, and there's a distinction between legendary and sub-legendary.
For battling related stuff. Sub-legendaries are ones that are allowed.
Yeah, this is battle specific. Yeah.
And then others aren't.
I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Wait,
that's all of them.
Hold on.
I know there's a bug. I'm just looking for unpopular types.
I got to 18 before I got to Spectrier and Enamorous. This is weird. Hold on. I may have double counted a type somewhere.
No, poison you have. This Poipole.
No. Yeah. I counted poison. I double counted some type, I guess. Either way, just within the sub-legendaries, we have every type.
Okay, so that's all that matters.
Yeah.
Great. So
I don't think there's any type that's missing there, and if there is a type that's missing, I mean it's covered elsewhere, because we have fairy and we have everything else out there. We have fairy, we have dark, we have ghost, we have fighting, we have flying, and those are like the least common legendary type.
Okay. I am going to have you roll. We're going to do this, and it's just not going to make sense until Gen 9 comes out, because I'm accounting for Gen 9, effectively. So you have a deck of 100 cards, 7 of which are magically not going to show up until the Gen 9 legendaries are revealed in more detail. So
7? Specifically?
I think there are 93 legendaries on at least the Cerebi list.
Are there 93?
I just counted. There are 93.
Damn.
And I am just going to assume that the other 7 are just unpickable until Gen 9. This is us planning in advance for once.
Yeah, there are. I think it's a safe bet that we'll have 7 new legendaries.
Something like that, right? So I am going to ask. I am going to ask you to as you make the selection. Again, you're going to choose the same question. Same thing applies. I'm going to have you roll a D100 4 times.
4 times.
4 times. So you're going to pull 4 cards out. This is how the instructions say it, because I am actually no 6 times. 6 times is better.
I'm going to roll 6 D100s.
You're going to roll 6 D100s.
Okay. I got... Is this 10 on the dot? Or is this 20? This is 20, right? If I roll a 10 and a 0?
If you roll a what?
Wait, hold on.
No, 10 and 0 is a 10.
That's a 10. Yeah. Yeah, that's 10. All right, so I got a 10. I got an 84. I got a 16. Got an 86. So far I've got 10, 16, 84, 86.
Yep, I'm writing this down.
Got, 99's a reroll. Got 4. Got 37.
That's it. That's six.
Yeah, those are 6. Those are 6.
10, 84, 16, 86, 4, 37.
Yep.
Okie doke.
Who do I get? And then do I have to roll a d6 to see which of these I actually get?
No, so you're gonna actively pick. So you're gonna know which 6 types they are at least. So you're gonna see the back of the cards, and then you'll pick one of them to give your actual answer.
Oh, I don't know the card. I just know the backs of the cards.
Yeah, so what's gonna happen here is in this deck, without looking at it, you pick 6 of these cards. Then looking at it, you pick one of the cards.
But only looking at the backs, not
only looking at the backs. So you'll know the types, and that's it.
Okay. And I'll only know the primary type. I won't know the secondary, will I?
You will only know the primary type.
This is annoying because there are like so many like primary steel and primary psychic and like secondary flying, but primary something else.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, this is a minefield.
But you do get 6 different chances to kind of pick what you want, at least typing wise. That will provide you additional information, maybe. Who knows? So
I'm trying to think of which legendary Pokemon would be helpful for me to have. Well, I'll wait till I hear the typings because that'll narrow it down a fair bit. Imagine if I roll Hoopa, it's just GG, right?
I don't know.
Because Hoopa's on this list.
Hoopa is on this list. I don't know what's going to happen because I did not think that far ahead.
I also doubt I rolled Hoopa. If I did roll Hoopa, that's impressive.
You know, it's dawning on me. I should have made a list in advance, but now I'm just manually counting this out. All right, let's write the list down here. Okie doke. So, you pull these 6 cards out. Adam looks at you like, what are you doing? But I assume you have an idea as he's frantically trying to help out.
Yeah.
I need I just wrote down the names of the Pokemon. I don't even have the primary types.
Psychic. Have fun.
Good luck. That's hilarious. All of these are different types.
Oh, beautiful. This is fantastic. I love this.
So you pull out these cards and you have 6 cards in front of you.
Okay, what do I have?
Okay. You have, in order, top left, you have them 1, 2, 3, and then next row 4, 5, 6.
Okay, yeah.
Got it? So right now, you have I need to make odds or evens for
Not me
each of
pulling out
these.
a pen and paper. This is when you know things get real on the show.
Let me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Where's my pen?
I am about to roll 6 dice for odds and evens. We're just gonna hear a chaos, maybe.
That was very crisp sounding. I enjoyed that. I'm a fan. Do that more often.
I almost lost one of my dice in the process.
That's
how it
goes.
I felt like a real DM at that point. Okay, this isn't gonna be too complicated.
All right, tell me what I've got.
Right? Yes. So after all this chaos, this is what happens. So in order, 1, 2, 3, next row 4, 5, 6.
Mm-hmm.
You have the elemental symbols for dragon, electric, normal, next row, poison, upside down rock, and fire.
Upside down rock?
Upside down rock.
Like specifically upside down?
Specifically upside down. The rest are all right side up. The rock one is upside down.
Why is the rock one upside down?
To at least have some incorporation of the tarot, though frankly this is gonna mean only something on my head. Some cards are upside down, some cards are right side up.
I've got dragon, electric, normal, poison, rock, upside down, and fire.
Correct.
Oh.
Now you, based on this information, can choose one card to help you out.
I can choose one card to help me. Alright. Let's think through. Now, I do feel like there aren't many poison among the ranks of the legends. And I feel like if there's any legendary that would have expertise in a really bad case of poisoning, it would be a poison type. But the question is, would they be able to undo poison or not? I'm not sure. Normal type seems really cool, but I don't remember off the top of my head the list of normal type legendaries. Am I allowed to look this up?
Hold up, let me figure
Or am I just working off memory here?
I'm gonna say work off of memory because that makes things slightly more.
Yeah, slightly less easy to metagame.
Actually, let me check here. I mean, you can. whatever. You can look at you have the book.
I have the Book of Myths with me.
Yeah, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah, I have the. I have.
I don't care.
Have the,
It's like this is a game or anything.
I have the Book of Myths. All right. So, see what Cerebi says. Because normal, I remember there aren't that many normals. Who is normal?
If I'm reading this right, there are two. It's Regigigas and Arceus.
That sounds about right, actually. That sounds about right that those would be the only two.
No, I'm lying. Type Null and Sylvalio as well. Those count as legendary. Also,
yes,
keeping this in mind, any of the weird ones, Ultra Beasts, Type Null and Sylvali, anybody else that doesn't feel like they're legendary but kind of are, they are legendary. So Ultra Beasts are legendaries in the system.
Yeah. I figured as much. All right, so, normal, we've got a 50-50 shot of, or we've really got a 1 in 4 shot of it being extremely helpful, is what I'm thinking. I'm writing off electric, because I don't think any of the electric types are any of the primary electric types are gonna be super helpful in this situation. Dragon is interesting, because I don't know if any of the primary dragons will be particularly helpful, although you've got the likes of, like, Latios and Latios that are, like, primary dragon that could be very helpful. A lot of the other dragons are actually secondary dragon, now that I think about it. So that's interesting. Fire I normally would write off, but also I'm scared that fire might be Ho-Oh, and I feel like Ho-Oh would be very helpful. And then poison. Is there anyone who's poison that's not Poipole? Like the Poipole line? Or is it just Poipole and Naganadel that are poison? I think it's just those two. I think it is just those two.
Yep, it's just those two.
Yeah, interesting.
Oh, Eternatus as well.
Oh, Eternatus is Poison Dragon. You're absolutely right. Alright, so I don't think Poison is going to be particularly helpful. None of them strike me as the type to be able to do a lot of curing. So I'm writing off Poison. I'm also writing off Rock. I'm going to write off Fire, because I don't like
Okay, so I'm gonna alright, here's one. For this case, this is going to apply. From going forward, it's going to be one of the two types. That makes it slightly harder to choose. That doesn't apply in this case because I've already told you that it's primary type.
Yeah.
But going forward with this, the Terra deck is going to apply both types. So A, we've now guaranteed that all the types are there, because if not, that's going to be real confusing. And B, it'll have more
like
variety.
On each of these, I'm rolling D100 and then also just rolling odd or even for primary or secondary, I assume. Or like on your end, you would roll for primary or secondary that shows up on the card?
On my end, I will do something of the sort.
Yeah.
I'm not 100% sure.
Like for the dual types, you'd like roll 50-50 to see which type,
basically,
which one
something along those lines. But for now, at least, it'll be primary type.
Okay, cool. Do I want dragon? I don't think electric's gonna be really helpful.
No, I just thought, okay, great. All right. More things are popping up that are just making more and more sense.
All right, is there a change to my logic?
There's maybe a change to your decision.
Yeah.
Okay. In the instruction manual, it goes through all these sort of things. You do this whole process, yada, yada, yada. You use the card. You pick whichever card you have, and you take the card, and you use the card. Once you use the card, you cannot use that card again.
That's fair. That's fair.
So with that said, now decision-making time.
It doesn't really change my decision all that much, to be
Probably
honest.
not,
but
you now only have 93 chances to use this tarot deck.
Yeah.
Until more legendaries exist, at which point you just get an influx. You just get an update to your system. That's basically it. The tarot deck goes through version 2.0 and then bam, add some legendaries.
See, I'm in a bit of a pickle because I've brought poison back into the fold, and now I'm between poison and dragon of who would be more helpful. Because like dragon can either be extremely helpful or extremely unhelpful, and poison is either going to be like perfect for the situation or completely useless. Right now, at the very least, poison will give us some information.
Remember, your question in particular that you were asking for help with was, what is the cause, effect, and reason, effectively? What was it exactly? The cause, the effect, and
the nature.
The nature.
The cause and the cure are the three things that I was looking for. So I guess if I'm just asking the question and not being like, "Hey, come here and help."
Yeah, it's the answer. Whatever answer is going to show up, it's going to answer that specific question.
All right. We'll rock with a poison type. Final answer.
Final answer. So you're sitting here playing Go Fish effectively on the ground as Ward's trying to figure this out, and Adam is doing everything that he can to resolve this situation. And you pick up the poison card, correct?
Who do I get?
You flip over this card, and all you see at first is purple, as the rest of the cards sort of like almost magically itself go back into your deck and just plop back into your bag.
Nice.
So all the just reset, they're back in the bag. You can scan through them all you want now. You flip over this card, and then something starts bubbling out of it. It's purple bubbles that are just popping out like acid as it drips off the card.
Huh.
And then from the card itself sort of comes a vague image, I guess, like an almost corporeal image of a Pokemon. And popping out of it is Poiple.
Nice.
The
least menacing one. I can work with this.
Basically.
Now, okay, here's a question. Does anyone else notice this? Because Ford's in the room right now.
Does anyone else?
And I don't know if this is the kind of situation where it's like, Ford's like, what's going on? And it's like, I could tell you, but I'd have to, I don't know if we want that. I don't know if we want that for Ford.
I'm gonna make a.
We like Ford around here. We want to keep him around. It'd be a shame if he had to go sleep with the Goldeen. You know what I'm saying?
Nat 20. All right, interesting. So here's what happens. This is
a nat 20 for who?
This is a good thing for Poiple, I guess. I don't know. No, for the deck. You are the only one that can see any of this.
Nice.
Nobody else. Adam doesn't notice anything. Adam looks at you staring at a card. And it's just like, is that a flash card? I don't know. And Ford, every time he glances back, it's kind of the same thing. But you are seeing basically this image of a Poiple popping out of a card. Just kind of looks around.
This isn't trippy at all. This
isn't weird at all. Kind of just looks around. It's like, hello. What's up? Yeah, you called me. These cards, first off, haven't been used in like forever. You know what I mean? So like, but bro, like, what's up? What's poppin'? How can I help? You had a question, I believe.
All right. Is this? this is gonna look so weird. But is this a FaceTime kind of thing where I can like turn the card and Poiple sees the situation at hand and like bring the card over and like show Poiple what's happening, or is this
I mean, you could just kind of Poiple is basically like almost like a hologram on top of your card right now.
Yeah, that's what I imagined.
Looking at you is just like, what's up? But you can just point in that direction. Poiple can turn around. Poiple can't just leave the card. That's the only thing.
Yeah. Okay. So I think Kyle's gonna point over towards the hospital bed and be like, hi, we have a bit of a situation, and I feel like you might be able to, help us figure it out.
All of the thoughts, all of this is thought, by the way. So you're not actually saying this out loud.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make this slightly easier on you.
No, but I still think like this is something of like Poiple can't read all my thoughts of like I am actively like thinking of like speaking to Poiple, and that's how it works.
Yeah, I think you have to formally have a conversation.
Right. Like how there's like a distinction in your brain between like just the thoughts that you have and then you thinking about saying something.
Right.
You know how that like there's a distinction?
Yeah, I got you. Yeah. So yeah, Poiple turns around and is like, oh. Wait, no, I need Poiple's voice. Poiple's voice is very much like, yeah, bro, like, okay, yeah, oh, that's not good. That's not good. Crazy.
My only other exposure to Poiple so far has been in the anime, and like that is not at all what like Poiple's character is like at all.
No, but in the anime, Poiple's like real baby, right?
Yeah, Poiple is like child.
You already have a baby. That's currently missing right now, but
yeah, that's a whole different thing. That's a whole different thing that we're gonna be able to solve somehow.
So Poiple looks at the situation. It's like, yo, that's kind of wild. I ain't gonna lie. Nah, bro. I don't even. What? Okay, I guess Poiple is real. Like, I don't know what even character this is. But like, wait a minute. So that's like totally a poison orb. Those don't even exist anymore. Like, what?
Interesting.
No, so like that's like a poison orb where like there's like different orbs, right? You smash on the ground, things happen, right? Like that's kind of what's happening over there. But I'm already hating this voice I'm doing for Poiple.
Yeah. Hey, listen, commit, full send.
Wait, we've already rejected something in this episode. I'm rejecting that voice. I'm like, I need like a Victini-esque voice. I feel like that fits Poiple better. Okay, cool.
V wheel. Okay, great. Let's do this. Yeah. Okay. Sure. This works a little bit better. Maybe? Yeah, what the heck? Why not? All right, sure. So yeah, that's totally a toxic orb or a poison orb or something like that. Those don't even exist in the world these days.
Kyle's just gonna slowly nod, like he's making a mental note of this. Of like that's something that's not supposed to be here. This is a problem, but that's a separate problem.
It's a toxic orb. There you go. That's it. It's a toxic orb. A thing that is non-existent in the Mystery Dungeon games. Perfect. Exactly what I want.
Yeah, that's like a toxic orb.
Yeah. Okay.
Toxic orb to you is just, it's like the other orbs, but not supposed to exist. Cool. Great.
Well, no, right now, like the thought process is, okay, that's an orb that's not supposed to exist. That's a problem. Because that means someone else is doing this interdimensional parallel universe, alternate timeline jumping. That means someone else is doing this too. But that's a problem for a different day, is what Kyle is thinking.
That's wild. All right, so your question was, what's the issue at hand? Remind me again. It's the nature, the cause, and the effect.
Yeah, and here.
Gotcha. So here we go. Nature, toxic orb. Those things don't really exist in the modern era because they were kind of like outlawed a billion years ago or something, man, like a while ago.
Well, that's the cause, right?
That's the cause right there. What's happening is basically right here in this situation, there seems to be the fog inside the toxic orb kind of attaches itself to the host's body. In this case, your Wigglytuff friend over there. And every time it gets healed, it just occurs again after some time period. The issue is...
Okay, and the cure?
Well, one more thing. The issue is the more that you heal it, the faster it comes back.
Okay.
So that's the thing you might want to know. The cure is to take something that can constantly heal it. There's really only one thing that does that, and that's a Pecha Scarf.
Oh my goodness. Oh wow. Did I manage to nat 1 roll Zadoran into having a permanent handicap? Is that what I just did in this episode? It's not okay. Cool.
At least until you can like heal it properly. That's really, as far as I know, that's the only cure existing now.
Kyle's just gonna because this is frankly like everything I needed. Is Kyle allowed to ask a follow-up question?
It depends on the follow-up question.
Okay.
It has to still relate to the nature cause effect thing.
Yeah. I think because the cause is toxic orb. He was toxic orbed, clearly.
Yes.
So the follow-up question is, okay, who could I guess Kyle's gonna ask, well, do you know who could potentially have a toxic orb / how someone could get their hands on a toxic orb since they aren't, made anymore? Like, how would someone get their hands on a toxic orb in this place and time?
So I can't answer that specifically. Unfortunately, that's not part of the question you asked. Who would be able to create it? I can't really do. I can tell you how to create one.
Okay.
And then you can kind of fill in the gaps from there.
Kyle just nods very aggressively, like, I'll take it.
Because, look, you and I both know who you are. You and I both know who, at least I know who 2 of these folks are. I don't know who that Badu is, but like, I know who you guys are. Duh. Kind of, legend in this.
Nudge, wink, wink.
Yeah. You know how I be. Like, yeah, okay.
We scratch your back, you scratch ours. That's how this works.
World-saving thing, this sort of connect. Anyway, regardless of all that. So here's the thing. This is really hard to do. Okay, so let's see if I can describe this properly. You know how TMs can be used, right?
Kyle nods.
Right. You could use a TM, and then what you've got left is the used TM. And then you would be able to recycle it back to the original TM. It's sort of like that. You'd have to use another orb, which, I mean, frankly, anyone has. Use another orb without breaking it, which is incredibly complicated to do because usually to use another orb, you've got to smash it, right?
Yeah.
But ideally, if you were able to use it, I guess, by like opening the orb, making a small incision, letting the gas seek out, exit out, using whatever effect it is, and then closing it again. You just have an empty glass box, effectively. Then after that, you'd have to be able to put some sort of poison gas inside of this without it popping back out, close it up again, still be good as new effectively. What this requires is someone that has this sort of knowledge, which again, not very many Pokemon have. It's really just us legendaries and like old folks at this point. And B, the ability to like use a powerful poison type move. It's not just as good as like using poison gas. No. You've got to attack the orb with a poison move that can cause poisoning. Thus,
poisoning of this degree, or just any kind of poisoning?
This is going to require some hardcore poison.
Fair enough.
Right, so you attack the orb, thus imbuing the poisonous in it. Now, presto, you've got a toxic orb. Again, these aren't naturally occurring, especially these days. Back in the old days, oh boy, you walk into any mildly inconvenient forest and you find toxic orbs all over the place, especially during Mystic Dungeons. But nowadays, nah, they kind of just fell out of use. I mean, they don't generate anymore.
Kyle is like slightly confused at the wording of all this, but just nods along.
Yep, that's the case. You're looking for a powerful poison type Pokemon that does not like your friend there.
Specifically a poison type, or
it's gonna have to be. It has to be there's this weird thing that's vaguely in this universe called stab. I don't know if you've heard of it. Basically, presumably, Pokemon that use the same type of moves that they actually have, it does extra damage. For some reason, maybe it's a glitch in the system. It just doesn't work in battles, but like out of battle, yeah, it's a real thing, totally.
God, I hate this fourth wall breaking that you're doing right now, but also I appreciate it.
But yeah, no, this is going to be A, powerful Pokemon, B, same type it's got to be. It just takes someone with skill in the type, and that's generally, poison types. And, powerful, use the orb, powerful poison type move, Bob's your uncle, big L. Got it. Yeah.
That's basically. Kyle's just like, so you're saying this couldn't be Hoopa?
What's up with Hoopa?
Kyle just immediately like waves his hand like, don't worry about it.
I don't know. Look, I'll be honest. All of the cards here are kind of like instilled knowledge, right? I'm gonna be perfectly honest. None of this is gonna go back to actual Poiple, but we do what we do.
Kyle just shrugs and just waves it off as if just say, let it go. It's fine.
All right, cool beans. Yeah, so that's everything you got for me, because afterwards, card go boof.
Kyle just nods and just very quickly thinks as thank you so much for all your help. This is fantastic.
Yeah, no problem. If you see Pops, tell him hello, although you're probably gonna have to roll that. It doesn't even matter. All right, adios, amigo. Whoosh. Poiple starts dissolving. The purple ooze and acid continues to fall until eventually it feels like the card kind of fizzles out, ran out of gas. And now you notice this card is ever so slightly grayer, I guess, compared to the rest of the cards. The back looks the same.
It's grayed out.
It's grayed out, yeah. The back looks the same. It still looks like it's normal purple-ish color with the...
The card has been consumed.
Yes. You can still look at it. If you were playing, poker with your friends and somehow use this deck, it would work perfectly fine. It's just if you were to use the legendary deck as a legendary deck, Poiple wouldn't work.
Poiple wouldn't work. Would I still be able to roll the card as one of my 6 and then just have a dead card? Is that how that would work? Or will it not pop up when I shuffle and deal out the deck
it won't pop
in
up.
a summoning manner?
I don't think it would pop up. I'll be slightly nicer there.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it won't pop up. If you do roll it, I'm gonna note down here that Poiple's been used. If you do roll Poiple, then I'm just gonna ask you to reroll.
Yeah, fair enough.
Okie doke.
All right,
does that mechanic work better?
Yes, so much better.
Okay, because this does apply the way that Wishcash was kind of with hey, this thing has answers and it will answer them for you.
Yeah, no, I like the way this works so much better. 1.
Great. Okay.
2, now that we've established how this works, this is probably I'm not gonna abuse this, but this is something that I will make use of.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And again, there's still always the chance that the character that you pull doesn't have the information that you need. Now you pulled the poison type that knows all about poison stuff, and you're trying to find why this is it. But
if you need somebody to do an electric thing and you roll, 9, you roll 6 straight water types, then
they're all
dead.
As
And
we
you gotta,
are.
yeah, basically.
Yeah.
So there's still a chance that this doesn't work out, but it is more likely that it will work out. These are automatic wins, assuming you get lucky.
Yeah,
like everything else.
Yeah, more or less. Dear Lord, my voice went up 3 octaves. Okay.
Great. So this information all goes to you. Adam is now continuously trying to handle things. Ford's about to give another Petra Berry.
Kyle's gonna dash out of the room and rummage through all of the storage to see if he can find a Petra scarf anywhere. Because surely the guild has one of these on hand somewhere.
I need you to do a investigation check. Actually, no, this is probably a beauty roll. Do a perception check.
Well, I mean, either way, I rolled an 11, so I was always going to be a big success no matter what.
Yep. You look around, looking for a Petra scarf. You don't find any.
Okay.
But you do know where one can be now.
Oh.
You're looking through, you're looking through everything, looking through all the boxes, and something catches your eye at the door. You see a clipboard of information.
Mm-hmm.
This is the information, the storage stuff.
Okay.
And it shows a list of items that are in storage, when they're taken out, and when they're put back in, as sort of community or guild community-wise items.
Yeah.
There is a Petra scarf in storage, it has been taken out.
Who has it?
Who currently has the Petra scarf?
It's not Ford. As long as it's if it's Ford, we're chilling. If it's not Ford, we're in trouble.
It's not Ford, unfortunately. Ford wouldn't need it. Ford's part poison type.
Yeah. No, I figured.
Right now, who would make sense to have it?
Is there anyone who's weak to poison? There's no one who's weak to poison. So it's just
anyone
who can be poisoned.
Yeah.
And doesn't want to be poisoned.
I'm gonna say Ross has it. The electric.
Sure. Yeah. That's
out of everyone here, Ross is probably the. It's either Ross. Yeah, because my logic is there's a Badoo. That's with you, B, part poison type. There's a Toxicroak. That's not going to help. Mankey may or may not have guts. I haven't built the system yet, but if it does, then poison is going to be a problem. That leaves us with Noivern, Electric, and Sudowoodo. And of those, Electric probably seems... I feel like Sudowoodo might have ground moves that can cover. Noivern is more powerful, and that leaves Electric. That's my logic, at least.
Yeah.
All right, so Ross has it. Great. Okay. You know where it is. Bad news, it's there.
Okay. Kyle is going to rush back into the infirmary and just be turn to Adam and be like, "Can you get us a Petra scarf?"
A Petra scarf. Is that the solution here?
Kyle just nods.
Petra scarf. Oh no, those are wicked expensive. I don't think I have anything in any of the places that I can zoom to. Let me check Adam's. What's Adam's setup?
He's gotta be loaded. He can afford this.
He can afford it, but he still needs one, right? All right,
He can afford it. He can just pop to different shops and find one.
Where is Adam's moveset? Jeez. Here we go. Okay, I need... Oh, that's an automatic thing. Do you remember what Adam's ability was? Regular...
I believe it was magic.
Oh, that's the one that status effects bounce off, right? Right? Because this is something I sent to you, right?
Yeah, I'm double checking now. It was magic card, which is does not take damage from only taking damage from attacks, no secondary damage effects. So no entry hazards, no poison or burn damage, that type of thing.
In that case, he's probably not got a Petra scarf.
He probably doesn't own one because he doesn't
own
need one. But he can acquire one.
Yes, but that would take a lot of time potentially.
How much time would it take?
Well, he's got to pull the funds because Petra scarves can be expensive. B, he's got to go to every store in town, basically, all the towns, and find one that's selling a Petra scarf.
Okay, how long is that gonna take?
A while, and every minute that he's not there, Sandoran gets worse.
Oh my goodness! Why? What? You just throw a solution in front of me and then say, "Well, by the way, you can't have it." Like what?
Well, no, there is a solution that I'm kind of leaning you towards.
You're telling me that it would be quicker to go out and rescue the entire guild against some force that I don't know while Manaphy is missing
than to have Adam just pop around to different shops and be like, do you have a Petroscarf? 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 I'm back. Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
really?
My logic is Petroscarfs are extremely rare.
Are they really that rare?
They're fairly rare, yeah.
Oh my god.
They're also wicked. What are? If we were shopping today, how much would a Petroscarf cost? Let's find out.
They cannot be more than 2,000. They cannot be more than that.
Petroscarf. What are we looking at today? Where is this on the list? That does not seem right. Hold on. Did I write that down right?
What? They're like 950 or 1,000? Yeah, that's right.
Hold up. Because these are like bands are expensive, and Petroscarfs are supposed to be like bands. All right, where are you?
No, but I don't think they're as expensive as bands, and bands run in the low thousands, like low 1,000 range.
Scarf. Yes, I know what a Petroscarf is.
Like, I bought a twist band for Kyle. Like, they're not that expensive.
Huh. I've been applying this considering that they're expensive, but then
they're not that.
on average,
They
is
are not that expensive.
Yeah.
They're not.
Yeah. Huh. All right, let's go bounce around. We're gonna see how lucky we get. Though, if you want to go down this path, every minute that Adam isn't here, every roll that I make that Adam isn't here, Santorin's gonna lose some health, and that could be problematic. But I can do the strategy.
But we have a huge supply of orange berries at our disposal.
That's a good point.
And we're not healing the poison away, so it's not like the poison is coming back quicker and worse. We're just keeping him stable.
You have convinced me, my friend.
Yeah, no, miss me with all of this, all right? I know your system too.
Sure. Okay. So, Adam, all right, I'm gonna need you then to roll 3 medicine checks.
3 medicine checks?
3 medicine checks.
That's smart.
That's beauty.
That's beauty? Why? All right. 9 minus 1, 14 minus 1, 7 minus 1. Make success and 2 fails.
Gotcha. Okay, so we got down, steady, down. Cool. All right, so Adam, yeah, this is a much simpler solution. Sure. Adam decides to.
It is a much simpler solution, and it gets us back on the Manaphy trail quicker.
Fair point.
I thought this through, my guy.
Sure. So,
listen, the guild can take care of themselves, or if there's any sort of like, you know, additional obstacle to rescuing the guild, it's a sacrifice I'm willing to make here. Like, trust me, I thought this one through.
Okay, so how does this work then? This is going to be so Adam's like, okay, if we're looking for a Petroscarf, Kyle, congratulations, you become a doctor. Hold on to him, make sure he doesn't faint.
Kyle nods and shoos Adam away.
Adam disappears. That doesn't sound like a popping sound, but whatever. Just whoosh, disappears. You're holding on. Things are getting worse. You clearly don't know what you're doing. Why did they give you a doctor's degree? You don't know anything. As time continues on, you're just waiting, like every minute is passing by. Tick tock on the clock. You're just given orange berries every now and then. You can tell that the health at this point you've got to figure out what Santorin looks like when at red health, because he's been constantly at red health.
Yeah.
But can you see this Santorin's getting more and more pale? Then out of the blue, you just hear just like a as Adam pops back in, and then doesn't realize that he hasn't popped into the hospital room. He popped into the front door
nice.
of the thing and just ran straight into the front door. So after that, opens up the door, rushes in. It's like, gosh, I always forget I enter inside. I have to pop in outside. Don't ask me how I got this. If anyone asks me how I got this, you're getting psychicked, okay? This was much more complicated than it should have been. And doesn't say anything after that, just hands the Petroscarf, like starts wrapping it around Santorin's arm that's poisoned.
Yep.
And he stabilizes. Santorin is not healing, not taking damage, and now has a Petroscarf until you can find a more permanent solution. But
not healing and not taking damage. That's fine. We have the resources to heal him up to full health anyways.
Yep. So holding this right now.
So now he has the Petroscarf as a held item now. Was
Yes,
he holding anything beforehand?
He was not.
Yeah,
So
there we
now
go.
Santorin is now permanently holding a Petroscarf until further notice.
Yep, I'm fine with that. We can work around that. That is fine.
Santorin finally stabilizes a little bit.
All right.
Yeah, and then I think Ford starts giving more orange berries to heal back up.
Yep, that's all right. That's cool.
Finally, Santorin, after 3 hours of complaining by me, mainly, that this should have been more complicated than it actually was, when it probably shouldn't have.
No, I mean, you were... Listen. We were both doing our job here, all right? Like,
That's true.
At the end of the day, I can only respect it. You win some, you lose some.
Very
GG.
true. But Sindoran, now fully healed, is permanently poisoned. This is going to be a weird situation that I'm noting down here. Sindoran, from this point until you figure out a more permanent solution, is badly poisoned.
It's permanently toxic poison, but also does not
Will
take
not-
any.
Will not take damage, but if someone uses like thief or knockoff or some weird thing where Sindoran loses the item, Sindoran is basically going to faceplant on the ground at that point.
Yeah, no. Sindoran is permanently toxic poison, but is not taking damage from it.
Correct.
But
this does limit Sindoran a bit.
Basically, Sindoran now is like super vulnerable to Venoshock if an opponent knows he's poisoned, and then like thief and knockoff.
Mm-hmm.
But can you have multiple status conditions?
You can.
They can stack. Okay.
They can stack. You can be paralyzed, poisoned, asleep, and flinched or something. I don't know.
All at the same time.
All at the same time.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
So,
well, that's fine. Well,
yeah.
listen,
There's
baby steps. We will sort this out, but right now we have a more pressing issue. So I think once he's stabilized, I think like Kyle's gonna look to Ford, like give him a nod, and then like be like, all right, we need to, we still got some to take care of. Wait out in the lobby. We'll probably head out and come back when we're good to go.
Ford at this point, I think, is talking to Adam to be like, hey, maybe you have some information as well. But like it gives you a nod as the conversation with Adam continues. And one thing that you do hear, like Ford's like, yeah, it's talking about like the mountain thing. Maybe like, hey, maybe you know what the mines are like. So we were there and we were dealing with like a nasty, like a Weavile or someone like that. I'm pretty sure there was a Weavile that was chasing after me at least. But a nasty sort of Weavile that was like trying to just steal all sorts of jewels and other things like that. And it's real annoying because I've never seen them before. Adam looks puzzled at first, looks back at Sindoran, and then looks, Weavile. But no. What? I'll be right back. And then Adam just walks out.
Huh?
Ford looks just as confused. He's like, huh?
I think
Sindoran now is awake, though. Still like sore, but is just looking. Sindoran looks puzzled as well. Like, Weavile. Sorry, that's not Sindoran's voice. Weavile. Oh, no. No.
Kyle is going to look at Sindoran and like nearly glare as be like, give me answers.
I have good news and bad news. The good news is, I think I know who did this to me. The bad news is, I don't know if we can beat them.
And coming back into the room is Adam with a piece of paper, just like frustrated beyond. This is the angriest you've seen Adam outside of the time that he was battling the other day, like ever. He's looking immensely angry as he just slams a paper on the ground, and it's just like, it's Team AWD, and shows a picture to you. And you can see why this is sort of frustrating. I mean, it's 3 pretty powerful Pokemon, pretty annoying Pokemon, but pieces start clicking into your head as you see on this team an Arbok, a Weavile, and a Drapion.
Kyle's gonna turn to Sindoran and just point to the picture and, raise a brow questioningly as if to ask, like, because Ford's still in the room, so just gonna ask, like, is this...
Sindoran is shooting daggers, and you can tell it's specifically at that Drapion.
Okay. So, they... assumedly, they have Manaphy, and they have all of the Battle Hammers.
Oh, drat. Kyle, you haven't been in the business for a while.
These are criminals of the highest accord. Adam just looks nodding and like approval at like, criminals wouldn't be the first word I use to say them, but yes, they are posing as an exploration team. They go around stealing and causing mayhem. This is far, far worse than others. They have there is no line they won't cross if it means they can get what they want. unfortunately, and apologies for this, but Exhibit A being right here, Sandoran just gives a wave of like, "Yep, that's me, Exhibit A. Hello." But yeah, no, they are the thief. But the thing, they don't. This makes me even more confused. I don't think they know Manaphy is in that bag.
Did he just say this out loud in front of Ford?
That's a good point. Ford's not here. Ford just left. Ford's in the lobby. Remember there. That's what we'll go with that.
Okay. Wait. I did send Ford out of the room. Yes. Okay.
Yeah. We're gonna go with that. Ford's outside. It's you three having a nice conversation here. That's not on purpose on mine. I can make those rules. But yeah, no. Yeah. I don't think they must have recognized who I was and stole my backpack for the jewels and all that sort of stuff that I normally keep in there. That they're just. Big explorer, author. He's probably got something rich. I think my thing was just a robbery. I feel disappointed almost. There's a very, very small part of me that's disappointed that they stole my bag simply to steal my bag and not because Manaphy was in it.
Kyle just gives it the biggest deadpan look of like, really? That's what you're upset about?
It's not the main thing, obviously. Never mind. Sorry, Kyle.
Kyle just shakes his head and nods towards the doorway, looking at both of these guys like, are we going?
Adam looks at you. Are you sure that you'll be able to handle it? I mean, it shows a piece of paper. This is an ice type, a poison bug, and a poison. This is not exactly boding well for success here. Even with my help, Sindorian's basically a net L at this point. I mean, maybe Weavile, but, not going to do squat against poison types. And, I don't know about your friend out there, but typing-wise, at least, not exactly matching up properly.
And Kyle just looks back at Adam and it's just like, well, do you have a better idea?
Fair point. All right, let's go. Adam starts gathering things. Sandoran pops out, stands up, immediately flops to the ground, and just kind of, in a Wigglytuff sort of way, rolls around to get back up again.
Yeah.
And you guys are off now to the mines as we end this episode that lasted way too long.
I was gonna say, I'm not gonna lie, the past 20 minutes of recording time was me just waiting. I'm like, is this the end of the episode? Is this the
But that is the end of this episode. Who knows if this is multiple parts? I know we took a break in between there at some point.
This is gonna be a long episode, but
not insanely long. I don't think there's a lot of stuff that could be cut down. You also forget that there was a whole 20-minute stretch that we erased. So
that is true. There's an extra part that's frankly, you probably don't know. Yeah. Hey, everyone listening right now, if you're part of our Patreon, you'll notice that there's an entire section of this of what the legendary deck was supposed to be, or at least version 0.1 that we scrapped after I did the thing, and it was garbage.
The raw recording of this is going to be super long because there was both a large amount of dead time and break, and also we retconned things in the middle of this recording. So that's fun.
Yes, if you want to check that out.
Listen, when you play test on the fly, some things break.
Oh yeah, no, this is if you the way, what am I saying? Incentive for joining our Patreon here. If you want to check out what the legendary deck was supposed to do, check out our Patreon and see the chaos that ensued. Muhammad didn't like it from the start. I thought I could have gone somewhere, and then it didn't. And I'm very disappointed in my thought process. And I feel like I've disappointed my entire family.
Hey, listen. We were able to hot patch it on the fly. It worked. The system is not broken. This item is not broken. Everything is fine.
This item is absolutely broken, but we're just ignoring it for the concept of.
Oh no, this item can be this item has the potential to be extremely broken, and we're just going on the good faith that I'm not going to abuse it.
Sort of. Anyway, so if you want to check that out, check out our Patreon. It'll be there at the time that this episode comes out, ish. So, check that out if you haven't already. Thank you very much, everyone, for listening, watching, and supporting in any way, shape, or form that you do. Apologies again for the extremely long episode that this may or may not be, and we'll pass it over to my other person, as I'm the PM, DM, GM, Andrew himself. I don't know why that went somewhere that it probably shouldn't have gone.
And I've been Muhammad, playing Kyle, and apparently picking up the pieces here to help stick this landing.
Until next time, shuffle your decks. That's all I got. I don't know. I'm burnt out. Can you
Shuffle your cards.
Shuffle your cards.